Freedom fighters, I'm back with another one. Today's video is going to be about hypocrisy I see within our own movement. I'm sure you've heard of sayings like, treat others how you want to be treated, or when people say they wouldn't wish that on their worst enemy. And that's usually attributed to things like grief, or sadness, or depression. I mean, the worst things a man can do to another man is like torture. Waterboarding and pulling out fingernails and stuff like that. And some would say psychological pain is worse than physical pain. They'll torture people sometimes by just playing really loud music in their cell for 24/7 so they can't get any sleep or something like that. Or keep their eyes open and they watch, movies or something with, stupid symbols or something like that. But, we're not sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards. We can't wave our wand and, say, I want that person to feel grief. Or I want the dark clouds of depression to creep in and cloud his mind. Humans don't have the ability to do that. And if they did, that'd probably be the most evil form of torture that there is. Well, anyway, introduction to Grandmaster Jay. Do you remember this guy? Well, the point I'm getting at here is I see a lot of these pro-freedom, whatever channels you want to call it. This is a pro 1A, pro 2A channel, and a freedom channel. And I see a lot of other channels that support those topics and, those rights, but they only support it for certain people. And that's the hypocrisy I'm going to get to. And the double standard that they hold other people to. Well, yeah, Grandmaster Jay, so getting back on him, he runs this militia called the NFAC. It's the Not Effing Around Coalition. And basically what he did was he was out there with his group and they were clearing a city block or something. I forget what town or whatever this was in. And they're running through the streets, and his events tend to get, they have the ability to get out of hand with fights and all kinds of stuff. So they had a police presence there, and they had agents up on the roof. And he's going through this protest, and he's getting out of town or something. He's clearing this city block, and he raises his weapon with his weapon light on and points it at these agents. And that's what they got him with. Flagging an officer or something like that. And then all these pro-freedom channels, all these pro-gun channels all of a sudden rejoiced and were like celebrating it. Yeah, throw this guy in prison and, we don't like him anyway. And now he's a felon and he won't be able to own firearms and all this. And I'm like, you're not for freedom if that's the way you think. And it goes back to treat others how you want to be treated. And can you not see yourself in this position where you're with your group or your mag and you're clearing out a city or something and you don't know who's in front of you? You don't know that guy's undercover, or even if they are in uniform. Yeah, you didn't know who they were. You were just checking it out, making sure. It's the hypocrisy. And again, I don't support this movement. For people who don't even know what this is, I mean, these guys were basically like BLM on steroids. These guys were on a whole nother level of past BLM. So, yeah, I don't support them. Our ideological beliefs are completely different. However, I still go to bat for them. I still back them in their right to do this, and I don't want them disarmed and charged for something that I could see me or people similar doing. And there's a lot of these channels on here too that support this kind of stuff, that do these videos. And they're LARPing about these exact situations. There's tons of these videos, escaping New York and shit hits the fan in the city and the bug out of the city videos. And there was this one video I was watching, I was searching for it. I might link it in the description or in the comments below. But this guy has this segment where, stuff's popping off and he ducks behind a trash bin and he pulls out a foldable AR out of his backpack and clears the alleyway. Which again, how do you know that at the end of that alleyway isn't going to be an officer and that you might not accidentally flag them? You don't. And those are going to be the kind of situations you get into, that we get into, the further this country devolves into chaos and all this stuff that's going on. And then he goes into a parking garage and, clears the parking garage out and gets to his vehicle to, escape the city. And like I said, I'll link the video below so you guys can check it out. But he says in that video, he gives you a disclaimer, like, hey, we had permission to be here, the weapons were checked, they were unloaded, all this. So essentially, it was a movie set. And he tells you that. But a lot of these other channels, they don't tell you that. They make these high quality and 4K videos where they're pulling out their guns in the, in the middle of the city or something, and they're doing this, song and dance where they're jumping in their vehicle and, they're clearing city blocks. It's all a movie set. And for the most of them, it's a LARP. It's not, this video that I'm going to post to you, I watched a couple videos, and I'm not sure if it's in that video where he says, he's a Marine, he did, 4 tours or something. So I'm not even calling that guy the LARPer. I'm just using the video as an example. But yeah, I mean, and recently here, everyone's been jumping on the Hunter Biden thing. That's another thing that's been getting to me. And, I'm on Truth Social. So everyone on there was rejoicing, or not even rejoicing, but oh, how come they didn't charge them for this and charge them even harder? And once again, it goes back to wishing something on your enemy that you wouldn't want done to yourself. And I posted something on Truth, and of course, everyone's all Trump on there. And anything, counter seem like, oh, you're not one of us. And I posted a meme of a colonist or whatever, a farmer or something from one of the colonies fighting off a redcoat. And it says, income tax, the price you pay for not being half the man your ancestors were. And I was like, do I need to remind you guys, the founding fathers weren't tax-paying, law-abiding citizens. They didn't just go along to get along and obey gun laws. No, they were outlaws. They were rebels. And they didn't listen and go by the whim of everything the king and the crown told them to do. Yet, they lost sight of that, and they wish upon their enemy what they wouldn't want done to themselves. And there was another channel a while back, too. Can't even remember, but it was at one of these Antifa events in Portland or something. And it might have been Austin, Texas or something. I can't even remember. But it was an Antifa guy. And he was in there and he was open carrying. And he got arrested. And this channel was celebrating it. Oh yeah, lefties can't own guns. And they should arrest him anyway. And I'm like, dude, all he was doing was open carrying in this protest. And I guess in that area, which makes me think it was Portland, because I don't know why that wouldn't be Texas. But I was like, this is an essential right here. And you're You're a pro 2A channel, and here you are arguing why he should be arrested and have his rights taken away. And that's the difference between you and I. And not you, not my viewers, but these other people, these other channels, and, you know, I come across people in real life the same way. That they're like, oh, that's my enemy, so I want this done to them. You know, that's not how it works. And maybe I have to do another video about what is freedom and what are rights. Because if you think the government has the ability to take away your opponents or your enemy's weapons and their rights, then you don't believe in rights. You believe in privileges. And the same thing can happen to you. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably make another video on that, but till the next one, you know, like and subscribe, and you know how I always say, we are on our own. No one's coming to save us. Only God can save you. So get right with God. Freedom Fighters out.